Yo, my dudes, what's going on? David here, and welcome to another reaction. This episode, we are diving into Teen Wolf Season 1, Episode 5, called The Tell. Hopefully, you've been enjoying the series. Hopefully, you are having a wonderful day. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Head on over to Patreon for the full, uncut, unedited reactions over there. Episodes extra early over there as well. But with that being said, there's a new hunter in town. There is a new hunter in town. Buckle your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen. Let's ride. Uh-oh, I'm getting some horror vibes. Out the gate, the horror vibes are here. He got that excited.
Please, Jackson.
Oh, all right, stop. He looked like he's struggling, man. He looked like he was struggling. She looks like she doesn't weigh anything. Oh, dude, what are you doing, Styles? Dude, over dramatic. Right, season 1, episode 5 of Teen Wolf. And for the longest time, it was around a 7 range. But then that ending was super cheesy. So I'll probably give it like a 6, which is still 6-7 range is okay. It's solid. It's interesting enough to keep you wanting to come back for more, but at the same time, we can't ignore the cheese, man. There's some super cheesy, cringy moments in the show. And this is why I say the music, man. I keep telling you guys I'm not gonna freaking bring up the music, but the music is ruining the show. Literally felt like for 2-3 minutes there we were just building up, and then all of a sudden it's just a little mountain lion. Come on, whatever that was. You know what I mean? Like, come on. You don't need all that build up. The Derek stuff. Amazing, top notch every single time Derek's on the screen. Top notch performances. The style stuff, again, top notch, awesome. The Scott Allison stuff is fine. It doesn't annoy me as much as it annoys maybe other people. But then when they do the heightened music shit for no reason, no apparent reason, to add something like, no, that was extremely cheesy. That little ending scene was super cheesy to me. But basically the story is that today is, in the beginning, let's get to the beginning. Even the Jackson shit in this episode was really kind of cool. But basically Jackson and Lydia are going to a movie store to pick up a movie. Jackson goes in by himself, realizes nobody is working there. He then proceeds to look around and see if there is somebody working there. He finds a body, dead with a scratch mark in it. He then encounters the Alpha. He hides. The Alpha then, knocks over some shelves, gets to him, and then sees the mark that Derek made on him, and runs off, which is kind of strange. Wonder what that could be. What would be the reasoning why an Alpha would run away from a already marked person? So that's a very interesting thing. I'm sure they'll dive into that at some point in the season. But basically Lydia's, her typical character, full of herself, all about Lydia, and so she's just out putting makeup on, taking videos, whatever the case, just self-loathing or whatever it is. And then the Alpha jumps out the window and runs by her. She notices it. She's freaked. The cops show up. They make sort of a big deal out of it. Jackson just kind of wants to go home. He gets into a little heated argument with Styles' dad. And then the other story is just basically that it's Allison's birthday and Scott wants to do something, special and fun with her. Kate gave her a gift for her birthday. It's a necklace with some sort of emblem. I'm sure they'll dive into that, whether it's Allison looking into it or, just kind of it coming undone as the story progresses. But she shows up to high school. She shows up to school, and Lydia somehow put balloons and figured out that it was her birthday in her locker. Scott pops up on her. She's, extremely embarrassed about it because she's 17. And obviously for her to be embarrassed about being 17, then she must be a maybe junior, possibly a sophomore. No, there's no way, not a sophomore. I would say a junior. No, yeah, probably a junior. Whatever. That's besides the point. But basically, she doesn't want anyone to know about it. She's embarrassed about it. Scott says something along the lines of, "It's probably because of the fact that you move so often, and so that's why you know, probably got held back." And so she got really excited about that. And he asked her to skip school with him. She's against it at first, but then she does it. Gives him, the day he was asking, just them two. Not much going on with them though. It was just a really, I mean, I have to sit there and think about it. Probably most of us were in high school when this was out, or at least in middle school, or even if you weren't, you're probably into the whole high school scene. And so, you've either wanted high school crushes to be like this, or you wanted your relationship to be something similar to Scott and Allison. So it's fine. I mean, back when kissing was like, oh, such a big deal, and everyone's so excited about it. So I mean, they're hanging out, they're having a good time. That's all that matters with that situation. And then Jackson is then in the locker room. I like. Okay, so let's go there. Let's go there. I like the fact that Lydia and Jackson were very much like traumatized by the situation. Obviously, Jackson's still traumatized by the situation of Derek showing up and doing what he did, but the fact that now Lydia is also very spooked and scared, I like that. I thought she did a really cool job there when Styles went and visited her. Obviously, she was all drugged up, and it's weird because she was kind of acting herself, but at the same time, there was obviously something wrong. But Jackson, that scene where he's in the locker room and he sees somebody approaching him with red eyes and being spooked, that was really cool. And we then find out it's just somebody listening to music. He then turns and Derek's there. Derek's asking more about the whole. What did you see? Just trying to get more details about it, but Jackson's obviously not playing into it. He's claiming he didn't see anything. I think that was Kate and two other hunters. I'm pretty sure that was Kate. But she basically rides up to Derek's place and pays him a visit. I thought Derek did a really good job, obviously isolating. Well, taking care of the other two, but then when he went to jump at her, it was just kind of like a not so smart move, in my opinion. I mean, she's obviously trained; she knows what she's doing. But then we find out that the hunters didn't kill Derek's sister; it was the alpha, and that's why Derek is going after the alpha, because he doesn't know. He doesn't know the name of it. He doesn't know who it is. Any of that. And so all of that stuff is really cool. Like that, those things I have zero complaints about. The Derek stuff, the Kate stuff, the Argents in general. The Jackson stuff in this episode was really cool too. It's literally just the cheesiness that they throw in every now and then, where it's almost like the director. How can I put it where like you would understand what I'm trying to say? It's like the director bakes the perfect cake and then puts like the wrong frosting on it or something. Like that's the best way I can compare it, like to something. Like you have this brilliant story. If you had a better director that could tell the story, I mean, some of the dialogue is super cheesy too, but like if you just had somebody better directing it and piecing it and pacing it together and even the editing, that's the problem. It's like the editing is so ugh. But it was super dramatic. That last scene was super like over the top for no reason. It didn't need to be. You could have had one scream and then jump to like the end. It was like a scream, and then we followed Scott walking around, and then we followed you know, uh, what's her name? Allison's dad. Like, super cheesy. What's going on? We could have did without that. I mean, in my opinion, that's just me though. You know what I mean? A lot of you have been telling me that the show itself is, cringy, but satisfying, and I already get the sense of that. A lot of you also say, just get through the first season, and the show gets a lot better. And I don't hate the show now at all. I don't dislike the show now at all. I really do enjoy the show. It's just the little nitpicky stuff that I think if they would have cleaned it up, it would have made for, a great first season and so on and so forth. But come on, man. And every time I'm like, oh, I'm not going to bring up the songs. And then they go and they throw a song in. It's just not, the tension isn't built up the correct way for this scene. Yes, people are running away. I understand that. That usually builds what's going on, which at the moment, at the time I was like, oh shit, what is going on? But then when it carries on for freaking what felt like 3-4 minutes of just it's just I don't know, for me it was too much. I was like, it's taking too long to get to that moment. Because at first you're really but when you build it up for, you know what I mean? It'd be like, I don't know, it'd be like in a scary movie if somebody billied for 5 minutes. Then after a while it'd be more annoying than it was, effective. Billy? Is that you, Billy? For 5 minutes? Nah, I can't do that. Fuck that. It's cool when it's like Billy and there's noises and all that good stuff. And then maybe like a minute, boom, something happens. 5 minutes for then it to be like, because you clearly saw that it wasn't the alpha with how small that thing was. There was like little clips where it would run by and it's like, no, it's not even the alpha. So why are you building it up like it was? I don't know. That's my opinion. Like I said, I gave this episode like a 6, 7. It's still very solid stuff for me. I enjoy it a lot. Like I said, the Derek stuff is really cool. And I think right now, not including Styles, Derek is, one of the stronger characters that's really pulling for the season to, you know what I mean? To like make me want to come back for more. The Argents are cool. But Scott's, they're fine. Everyone else is fine. But the real, it's like a two-headed monster for me where like Derek is really cool. And then Styles is clearly the best actor on the show. So, when you add those two, they're really pulling it. I guess you could do tiers. I guess that'd be like a way to do it. And tier 1 would be, for me at least, Styles and Derek. Tier 2 would be the Argents. And I might throw in like Scott for the most part. And then like tier 3 would be like your Lydia, your Jacksons, your, I don't know, the teachers and stuff like that. The mom. Where I'm not saying they're terrible, I'm just saying they don't really add nothing crazy to it. But acting wise, I think Derek and Styles are, leaps and bounds better than everyone else. But the show is solid. The show is cool. Just, it's the directing route that they went where I'm like, it could have been so much better. If you would have built that moment up and let it get to the actual end moment way sooner, it would have been cool. But no, you threw in music again. Why the music? Why? But yeah, this episode I gave a 6 or 7. So hopefully you enjoyed the review. Hopefully you enjoyed the reaction. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Head on over to Patreon for the full uncut, unedited reactions over there. Episodes extra early over there as well. But with that being said, I'm going to head on out of here, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Bees, guys.